Hey guys, it's Marie. I'm an independent Plexus ambassador, and I'm going to be talking to you today about Plexus Slim and some of the ingredients and how they work in our bodies and why Slim helps our bodies function the way that God made us to. So, Plexus does not claim to prevent, cure, or treat any disease or illness. And my background is that I have a bachelor's of science in physiology and a minor in chemistry. So, I'm not a doctor or nurse, just wanting to share the education that I've learned over the years, and also encourage you to do the same. Educate yourself and be your own advocate. Learn to listen to your body and what it needs, and take care of yourself. So the first ingredient we'll talk about is alpha lipoic acid. So alpha lipoic acid is an antioxidant. And so basically when we eat, we turn our food into energy. When that chemical reaction pathway occurs, we create a free radical. A free radical is a negatively charged cell. It's a bully, it's unstable, so it wants to be paired with something positive. So it'll run around looking for something, and it'll kind of be a bully and like knock somebody else off so it can have a spot. So what that does is cause damage in our bodies, can lead to disease. Disease is basically dis-ease in the body. So God designed us to have homeostasis, which is balance. So our bodies will always try to get back to that balance, whatever way they need to. So the alpha lipoic acid helps turn food into energy. It also helps increase insulin sensitivity. What that means is that we don't need as much insulin to get the job done like otherwise. So we eat a meal, we eat food. A lot of times we eat too many carbs nowadays, so instead of our insulin kind of going up and then back down and up, and it stays along this line, like the homeostasis that I just referred to, most of the time what happens is our blood sugar spikes up, so our insulin also spikes up. It's overtaxing the pancreas right away, and really all of our organs. It's not good. So our blood sugar spikes up, and then what happens is it crashes back down, and it's going to fall really fast. And what happens when that occurs is that we feel really sluggish, we get tired, we might get a headache, feel sick, we crave sugar because God made us, our brains, to survive, right? So when our body is out of balance like that, our brains are going to go eat sugar or get caffeine or something to give you energy. And so most of us will, some of us reach for those energy drinks with sugar. Don't fool yourself with sugar-free or a sugar-laden coffee drink to get that energy that we need. So what alpha lipoic acid is doing, along with some of the other ingredients, is it's keeping our blood sugar stable, so we don't have those cravings, we don't have headaches, we don't have those crashes, we have sustained energy. So that's awesome that this ingredient is in there. It's also fat and water soluble, so it really helps. It's readily available for the body. Our cell membranes are made of a fat layer and a water layer, and usually whenever we eat like a macro or a micronutrient to get into the cell, needs a buddy. It also needs insulin. Insulin is like the key to unlock the cells to get that energy into the cell to be used. So we want to make sure that our body is working appropriately, and this is one of the ways that it does that. So the next ingredient is chromium, and one of the you've probably heard of chromium picolinate. The form of Slim is chromium polynicotinate, and it's not nicotine, it's niacin, which is a B vitamin. Niacin helps the chromium be absorbed. So chromium is a metal. It's on the periodic table of elements. It's similar to like gold or silver, which are also metals. So we only need a small amount in our diet, in our bodies. Our food is so nutrient deprived now, just because we eat processed foods, boxed foods, we eat a lot of white bread, white foods, and sugar, that we're not getting the nutrients that we need. So the thing I love about Plexus products is they're not mega dosed. The percentage of the daily value in Slim of chromium is just over, it's 167%. So it's not a burden on your liver or anything else. So niacin helps the chromium be absorbed, and chromium is kind of the star player when it comes to blood sugar stability and turning food into energy. So chromium also just helps that food that we eat goes into our bloodstream. Like I said, the macro or micronutrients, it's kind of, they're kind of floating in our bloodstream, and then we want to take them into the cell, like I just said. So chromium helps with that. The next ingredient is chlorogenic acid, which comes from the green coffee bean extract. Since it's an extract, there is not really caffeine. The label says less than 2% on Slim, but it's very negligible. We're kind of talking about like the chlorogenic acid or the coffee bean extract is like the pit of a fruit. It's not the actual sustenance. So we're taking the best part out. And what it does is helps slow the release of glucose. So when I talked about the blood sugar, so we want to slow the release. We don't want the spike. We want a slow release of glucose to keep our blood sugar stable. It also helps decrease the absorption of dietary carbohydrates. So, we're not getting that insulin and blood sugar spike. So that's pretty much it. That's the gist of it for the ingredients and how they work in our bodies. So I really hope you learned something, and please feel free to share or leave a comment. Thank you for watching.